Yeah, I've been around a while. 12 years, I think. 12?
Not
12?
bad.
Yeah, 12 and a bit.
When do you think you're going to reach the 1 million? That's pretty soon, isn't it?
Oh, I don't know. No, the growth is like just, it's
Really?
just linear all the way. There's the occasional little jump up.
Yeah.
In, but generally, no. Because I'm not I'm a niche channel. Like I'm a very eclectic channel. So my content has very broad appeal, but not to a broad audience.
Okay.
So I'm never going to get a mainstream audience.
Yeah.
The climb to 1 million is going to be slow.
Okay. But I feel like
if I ever get there.
I mean, I haven't been following closely with how many subscribers you gained, but I still remember you being about 500,000, and now you're what? Almost 900,000, 800,000?
I'm 850 now. So yep.
Okay.
So and plus another 60,000 over on Odyssey and other platforms.
Yes.
So
okay.
Yeah.
But do you think have you changed your approach to how you make videos these days? Do you try to appeal to a broader audience, or is it just what you feel like doing at the moment?
No, it's been the same since day one. I just make videos for stuff that I find interesting on the day. Like there's no plan. Like technically I do have a couple of future videos in mind up there, but generally, no, I just work on stuff that interests me in the day. I don't chase the views, so to speak. I don't tailor my content really to appeal to to chase the algorithm, as they say. Okay. And there's just no point. I just do stuff that I enjoy, and if people want to watch it, they watch it. If they don't,
no, fair enough.
They don't. So although I have been I've done a video on this where I talked about I've improved my editing process, and now I do a 2-step editing process so that my videos are as short as possible, because I'm known for like long rambling, videos that go off on tangents. But I do at least try to edit them to get the time down. So if the video comes in at 30 minutes or something, I'll do a second pass edit to try and get it down to 27 minutes. Or I'll take out little and ahs just so I don't waste people's time.
Yes.
So that's probably the major change I've made.
Okay.
Fairly recently.
I remember you saying in a video that it was the biggest pain in the rear end is editing the video, and I feel that as well, just getting out my ums and ahs, my swearing when I get something wrong.
Right. I've got it down to a fairly fine process. I just did a recent video of how I shoot my videos and things like that, and I've done a couple of videos on the processes and stuff, and I try and get it all right in camera. So I get my audio right in camera, I get my video, my color balance in, I get my framing right, get it all right in camera. So all I do is drag the clips, and I shoot in sequence. So I drag my clips, I put them into the timeline. All I've got to do is start and trim the ends. So my editing process is fairly simple.
Okay.
Editing's, I don't really mind it. It's a fairly quick process for me, unless there's a complicated video with multiple cameras and stuff like that, but that's fairly rare.
Okay.
So
do you plan out your videos a bit? Because I know you quite like to do it like off the cuff, right? But do you have like sections or something that you plan out?
It's all off the cuff. No, it's all off the cuff. If I do plan a video, it'll be I wrote down a couple of points on a Post-it note, the stuff I want to cover. Say I'm doing a whiteboard tutorial, I might, have like a list of 10 things that I might want to cover or something like that. But I still don't know what I'm going to say until I press the record button. Okay. So it's very off the cuff.
Okay. And how often do video ideas come from viewers? Because I sometimes get comments on do this, but if something's very specific, use this specific, it sounds like I'm doing the assignment in a way. I assume you get a lot of that, right?
Yeah, I get a lot of that, yes. And there is a section on the forum that I started way back, video ideas and stuff like that. And I still do videos based on people's ideas. But it's not, it's only if I rarely am I stuck for, what am I going to do for my next video? It's just something automatically comes to mind. And that's either something I'm I find interesting at the moment, or something somebody has actually suggested in the comments or something like that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it happens.
How long does it usually take you per video? I try to do mine in a day if I can, if not less.
Yeah. Yep. Yep, same here. If I can't shoot a video in a day, I'm not saying I'm not going to go do it, but generally I like to come up with the idea, shoot it, edit it, and release it all in a single day. Otherwise, like there's a few more complicated ones that might span several days or something like that, but that's fairly rare.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you actually spend any time still designing? Like a lot of your videos are repairs and
no, unfortunately, unfortunately it's I just enjoy bumming around my lab making videos. I don't get too much time to do the design side of things anymore, which is a bit of a shame. Like a lot of people ask, why don't I do a video design series and stuff like that? And I have done a couple of those, and some have been popular, some haven't. So and then when I do, I find when I actually do the more technical design, like I'll just do like a simulation of something, or do some other design thing. They're generally not that popular, those videos actually. So
that's surprising.
There's there's a whole heap of people that ask for it, but then nobody seems, not as many people seem to watch them. They all want the drama stuff. They all love the debunkings, or they want the, something like that. Solar roadways, or
that's something I try to find the balance with, because I feel like I'm constantly designing, trying to get stuff made for videos, because my videos are more heavily focused on design. But I've seen that, I wish I could just take more time, just to do a bit more complicated design. But I always feel like every 2 weeks, I've got to have something new up. I don't know if as you say, you do more.
No, because I don't like the pressure. Like one of the reasons I like my job is because there's no pressure. So if I start a design series, as much as I want to do it, I don't like 1,000 people pulling me in every direction. And I can't, like I said, I like to film and do a video in a day. So I can't, it's not like I can shoot an entire design series and like over months and months and then actually release it. That's just not my style. So if I am going to do a product series, it'll be like, release part 1. Here it is. I'm working on this little aspect. Then I'm working part 2. I'm working on this little aspect, etc. And then all the comments from part 1 just, the whole community explodes. No, you're doing it wrong. Why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? And you get hundreds of emails. You get bombarded. With people telling you how to design it.
I know the feeling, in a slightly smaller scale, but yes, I always fear for my life every time I publish a video and think, oh my God, I've done something wrong, haven't I? But
exactly. So that's probably one of the reasons why I don't do much design stuff anymore, because it's like, I enjoy doing it. I still want to do it, but it's a time thing. And then I want to do that. But then there's other videos I want to work on.
Okay. What kind of designs do you miss the most then? If you had to.
I like designing test gear and stuff like that. I'm a bit of a test gear aficionado. So anything related to test gear.
Okay.
That was most of my projects that I published in the magazines before I started before I started this whole video YouTube thing.
Because you also worked at Altium, didn't you?
Yes, I worked at Altium. That was 4 years, I think. I was at Altium.
But I assume that wasn't very much test gear focused, right? You did more FPGA.
No, that was the nanoboards, the Altium FPGA. I worked in a small team there that designed the nanoboards and all the boards that, because it's a modular plug-in based system. So we had to design 100 different boards that plug into the thing, and the testing systems, because we made those in-house. We didn't manufacture them in-house, but we tested them and other things all in-house. So we had to design all the automated test gear and stuff like that as well.
Okay. So and what parts of the design did you do the design cycle then, from part selection and schematic through to actually doing the layout and routing, or?
It depends on the product. Yes, some of them I worked on the whole thing. Like I was tasked with designing the laying out the whole boards, designing all of the interfaces. Although it was based on earlier design, so it's not like we had I was able to start from scratch or something, because before I joined, there was actually previous designs that we had to sort of build upon. But no, I'd come up with new products. I'd lay out the boards. I'd manufacture them. I'd even hand assemble them and then test them, and ultimately get them into production. as well. So fairly much the whole thing.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, we had several products, so I couldn't work on every single product. So we had a small team of 4 that worked on it.
That's pretty nice. Also to hear from like a fairly large company that you could still be involved in the whole design cycle. Or at least my experience, I haven't maybe come across that too much, but maybe I was too low level to see all of that, I guess.
Right. No, well, I've worked at companies where I've been the only person in that. Like I was the electronics group. Like I was basically it. I was the whole thing. I was the whole show. So you had to work on everything. You had to do everything from start to finish.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome.
So
did you ever work with sponsors for your YouTube channel? Like, or was it basically just rely on?
No, never. I've turned down every single sponsor thing from day one. Like probably 11 years I've been getting sponsorship requests, more, maybe almost like from maybe 6 months after I started getting my first sort of, hey, we'd like to work with you and sponsor a video, but I turned down every single one.
Okay.
Yeah.
How come? Was it just...
I just didn't want them to control my content.
Yeah.
I wanted my content to be my content. I didn't want them to have a say in my videos at all. And all the terms and conditions are on my website. It's always been there. So if you're a manufacturer and you want to send me stuff, if you want to be on my channel, well, the rules are you send me something and that's it. You actually, I may or may not do a video on it. I may or may not mention your competition. I may slag off your product completely. You won't get to see the video before it goes up. You get absolutely no say in it. And if you don't want to deal with me again, I don't care.
Yeah. No, I think that's...
Yep. The thing is, I've been in a fairly lucky position in that most of my majority of my income doesn't come from YouTube. If most YouTubers have to rely on the YouTube income.
Yes.
And if that's the case, then, well, it doesn't pay much, as you know, right? Yeah. It doesn't pay much per view. You have to get a lot of views to make this a full-time living. So if I had to choose between, if it was my only income and I had to choose between sponsored content or going back to have a day job, then I'd probably choose the sponsored content. Yes. So I'm not against any YouTuber who has to do the sponsored content. That's just,
Exactly. No, and
because there isn't much money in it. So, yeah.
No, and that's exactly what I've been doing. I had like Altium and JLC sponsoring, and without that, as you say...
Oh, okay, Altium. Okay, right.
Yeah, without them, I couldn't be doing this, basically.
Yeah, you couldn't. So are you doing it full time?
I recently, about 2-3 weeks ago, decided to do it full time, at least for now. Basically, I was I was working for a startup in Denmark, and unfortunately, that went bust. So I was thinking, hey, what to do next? Because I was going to
ask about that because we were going to shoot this last week, and then you emailed me and said it's gone bust.
Yeah, no, that was
off to next week. Is that something you can talk about, or because that's a valuable experience for people?
Basically, everything is in the public domain now. So I actually was recruited via YouTube to come over and design some electronics. Was made a co-founder.
Actually, by YouTube?
Well, actually through YouTube. Sorry.
Through you. Okay, right.
Yeah, someone found the YouTube channel.
Someone saw your channel and
then said, "Okay, do you want to?" And at the time, I was, looking. I was looking to start a PhD, but then someone kind of thought this was an interesting thing. Went over to Denmark, was made a co-founder at the end of it, and then we ran out of funding. So the usual. I think most startups fail because of some sort of people not getting on.
Yep, exactly. People not getting all the funding because a lot of startups are dependent upon the next funding round.
Exactly.
So if you churn all this money on labor and people and startup costs and stuff, and then that lasts 6 months, a year or something, and then you've got to go for the next pitch to
exactly.
And if that doesn't come through, it folds overnight. So
that's just put it to rest for now. So no, it was a good experience,
Right.
But at the end of the year, I'll probably start with a PhD. So just bridging that, I was thinking go back to a normal job, which I don't think I ever want to do again.
Yeah. Same here.
I could never. I don't know. Did you ever? I mean, straight out of university, I think my dreams were crushed when I thought engineering would be really cool, and then I go to like a big company, aerospace.
Yeah. And it's the world of Dilbert is real.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's crazy.
Yep.
Just the amount of SAP training courses, 3 hours how to click a button. I was like,
yes.
I quit 3 months in and I was like, this is not for me.
And then all that, and then they'll have a new thing every 5 years, it'll be agile training, then it'll be lean training, then it'll be Six Sigma, then it'll be, oh God.
It's crazy, but it's, what do people do if they don't fit in there and, for example, they don't have YouTube? I mean, is it study medicine or...
I don't know. But yeah, that's why I've always been a fan of you do your own stuff on your own time, right? A job isn't going to, like, if you're passionate about engineering, you've done your degree and you get out into the workforce and you find, geez, this is, pretty boring. This is like, Dilbert land.
Yeah.
And, well, okay, that's fine. That pays the bills for you. And it gives you the skills and everything else, and often the resources, because you can often use company resources, tools and labs and stuff like that. And then work on your own stuff in your own time. And then that might lead to something. That might lead to your own midnight engineering company. Then that might lead to your own full-time thing. It might lead to a YouTube channel. It might lead to, your own, like someone might find your stuff. If you publish it, they might find it. Then they'll consult. Then they'll have you as a consultant. And then, you can just branch out that way.
Yeah.
So don't rely on your company to, the company you work for to get all of your kicks, because you have to do it their way. I mean, and you're just part of a cog.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what I found as well. I mean, the topics can be so interesting. Like, I started working for a defense company, aerospace, missiles, fighter jets. Sounds really cool. Maybe not morally.
Yeah, I know. I've worked in the defense for many decades. Yeah.
Yeah, and then just such a letdown that you just work about SAP systems, and maybe I just don't have the patience to sit through until like a senior engineering level, but.
It isn't just you, no.
Okay, good.
Trust me.
Okay. But how is it then, if you do like your own thing, what I've noticed also in the startup, you don't have anyone to ask other than forums, or, you pay for someone else's advice.
Oh, yeah.
Which you don't have.
Well, no, exactly. Well, I've worked in companies, this is before the internet, so we didn't have the internet. So, and it was just me. It was just me. Like, I didn't even have anyone in the group, I was the entire group, There were managers stuff, but they weren't engineers. I had no, actual colleagues to bounce stuff off often.
So was there trial and error and books, or how did you get by?
Oh, that's just books. Because back before the internet, you had a massive library of data books and app notes and everything else. Now it's just all online. So
Okay, that's one thing I just try to for YouTube. I kind of stay in my niche. It's like KiCad and STM32 stuff. But then actually trying to branch out and kind of increase your skills, it's hard to do with limited time. But I don't know how
it is. Time is the killer. Yeah. No, exactly. And that's the box I've put myself in, as I've done. I think it's like 2 dozen different types of content. Mm-hmm. So everyone subscribes to my channel for a different reason. Some people only like the debunking. Some people only like the reviews. Some people only like the repairs. Some people only like the teardown. Some people only like mailbag, et cetera, et cetera. And so I'm the good thing about that is I'm a channel. I can do anything on my channel. I can do interviews. I can do repairs, debunkings, rants. I can go off on some obscure tangent or anything, and my audience are kind of sort of used to that, because that's what I built my audience on. But if you've got, your channel's mostly, as you said, like PCB design kind of focused.
Yes.
You can't just suddenly go out and do some obscure oddball video. People are going to go, what?
Yeah. Exactly.
It's hard.
I always wonder what like the upper limit is, because you can see like subscribers coming every day, but I'm sure there must be some sort of cap somewhere. Only so many people.
There's got to be a cap. Yeah, I know. There's got to be a cap. I mean, who's the bigger? Electro Boom would be the biggest channel.
I believe so.
Right,
yeah.
and he's got how many channels? But he's like almost mainstream comedy.
Yeah, exactly.
Kind of thing. Yeah, he does engineering content, but it's mostly, it's like, I think that's where he's built a majority of his audience, with like a little kind of like a Mark Robery kind of thing, which my young son has just gotten into Mark Rober and loves it, right? Because it's it's a little bit of engineering with mostly entertainment kind of.
But I think you've got a good mix of that as well. Like yours.
Sometimes it depends on if I'm doing like a solar roadways video or a debunker, that can have sort of mass appeal. More mass appeal. But if I'm doing a PCB layout tutorial, it doesn't get that many views. Unfortunately, it's a very niche.
Tell me about it. Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
I'm always like, when people ask, what do I do? And like, you don't want to know, it's too boring, because I mean, just, it's no entertainment. It's just how to get something done, I guess. But yeah.
Yep.
But it's, as you say, it's the stuff that I enjoy, and that's what I want to put up. So, you know.
Exactly. I don't think, the worst thing you can do as a YouTuber is try and be someone you're not, you know, try and appeal to a market that you don't, you know, you're just doing it as a job and you don't really have any passion for or something like that. And it'll show through. It'll show, you know, people go, oh, he's just fake.
Yeah.
You know, it's just,
Yeah, no, so stay on that route, see where it takes me. The cap is probably in the air anyway, but.
Yeah, that's why, like niche, as you said, like I can't see I hope I'm wrong, but I can't see just a niche design tutorial channel getting 1 million subscribers. It's just, I don't think the market's out there. But then again, when I first started my video thing, I thought, oh man, if I could get 1,000 subscribers, that'd be, like, I thought that would be enormous.
Yes.
Right. And then I hit 1,000 in the first couple of weeks. You know, so
I know the feeling. I wouldn't even thought 100 people would want to listen to someone talk for 3 hours about PCB done. Not let alone my parents. My parents didn't believe it either. So, you know, that's all the support I can get here. But exactly. And then, but the problem is that the subscriber to view ratio, like, so a channel like mine, broad content, that's, you know, I might have 850,000 subscribers, but an average video is now only going to get 50,000 views. Like a good popular one, like a one that I think is really successful will make it to 100,000, right? Yes. But it's like very rare does a video get 500,000 views or something like that. So it's only, you know, if you can get 10% of your audience to watch, then that's, you know, probably as good as you can expect. So, but then again, if you focus on that channel, if you focus on that style of content, then you're going to get a higher subscriber to view ratio. Like, you know, if you subscribe to Big Clive's channel, for example, he's very popular. I think he's just surpassed me. Has Big Clive hit 1 million yet? I don't think so. I think it was just about 900,000-ish. Right. Last time I checked, but
So let's go Big Clive. Let's do a live check here. Anyway, Big, he's got 842. Okay. So I'm slightly ahead, a few thousand ahead.
Do you ever use? Sorry.
Oh, but I was just going to say that Big Clive's content, like, you get the same thing every time. Yeah. Like when you subscribe to Big Clive because you're like that gorgeous voice of his, right? And then the hands and the witty remarks, and he's tearing down a cheap Chinese product and reverse engineering it, right? And you get pretty much the same thing every time. So his subscriber to view ratio would be very good. Yes. So as opposed to mine.
or mine. I mean, I'm miles away, but but your content is fairly focused every time, though. Yeah. Compared to mine, like, so you've got 55,000 subscribers, and you're getting one video 3 weeks ago got 50,000 views. Like, I can't remember. Like, I would never get a video that has 850,000 views or 500,000 views. Yeah. Like, it's so incredibly rare. But you're pulling in at least another one, 25,000 views, 32,000 views, 130,000 views, and you've got only 55,000 subscribers. So you're killing it. Oh, thank you. No, I never know why, though. It's the thing. It's some videos I think, okay, this is going to be great, and it gets like, less than 10,000. Like, what is going on? Yep. Maybe I'm just the only one interested in it.
That's a bit disappointing, isn't it? When you put like you think, oh, this video, like, people love this video, and you put like a lot of extra effort and love into it. And, I'll put like extra hours into editing it, just to make it a bit better and stuff like, and then it just gets a meh.
Exactly. It's so disheartening in a way.
I know. It's and then some throwaway video I do, which I record in 5 minutes, gets, a few 100,000 views because I just did a fluke rant about, I just did a recent one. One of my recent popular ones was why are fluke meters so expensive, right? And that was such a nothing content, which I recorded in it's a 15-minute video, and I spent 20 minutes recording. I just pressed go and started yapping on. Yeah. And I thought that was such a nothing video. I was almost going to put it on my second channel just as a, because I didn't put any effort into it. So videos I don't put any effort into. I generally just chuck on my second channel.
Okay.
And I put it on my main channel. It gets 500,000 views.
That's crazy. Yeah.
It's like, what?
Yeah. No, I have the same song as well.
I can't pick them. I cannot pick them.
It is very strange.
No.
But also with the titling, like I noticed you you capitalize certain words to make it more appealing to the audience. I still don't think I have the hang of that. Of what
I don't either. And I get quite a few complaints recently that I'm doing the clickbait thing. Okay. Dave's just doing this clickbait, But the problem is you have to, because there's not only for the regular people out there who are doing search terms and your video shows up in lists, your thumbnail has to stand out, right? That's why I do big, bright yellow font, because if you're scrolling through a bunch of videos, the bright yellow is going to stand out, right? And research is showing, and all the top YouTubers know this, if you put your face in the thumbnail, then people know, there's a Dave video, right?
Yes.
And so I try not to I do have a couple of stock thumbnails I put in there, and that does piss a lot of people off. But most of my thumbnails are just a capture from the video with a big yellow font over the top. But that's been shown to work because there's so many channels out there now, and your subscribers would be the same as mine, and they'd be subscribed to 20 different engineering channels probably, right? And if we're all releasing a video every day or every couple of days, like they can't watch them all. So you've got to stand out in some way, even to your own subscribers. So
that's something to get better.
And the title and the thumbnail matters. And there's lots of YouTube, your who's the Mr. Beast or whatever, everyone claims that he's got the secret, the secret algorithm to, the secret sauce. And then you try some of his ideas and they don't pan out, and others, so I try, but it doesn't always work. But I think you have to, because Veritasium, the science YouTuber, Veritasium, he did a video on this, and he deliberately explained, look, I'm chasing the algorithm because I want to get more views, and I'm going to engineer the thumbnails, I'm going to engineer the titles and everything to get the most number of views. I make no apologies for it, because my goal, or his goal, is to get as many people to watch science content as possible. And if that means that he has to do the clickbait thing, then so be it. And I'm pretty much of the same opinion. I want people to watch engineering videos. I don't care if they're mine or yours or somebody else's, right? I want them to watch them. So I want to make them appealing to actually click on. So I do tend to put a bit of effort sometimes into thumbnails and titles, but I still haven't cracked it. So
no, I just have no creative or artistic flair. I do mine in paint, and they're grey usually. So I need to take your advice on board. Definitely. Right?
No, I don't know how to generate. I use Vegas, which is my old video editing software. I just load in the video, and I choose a suitable thumbnail from the video, and then I'll overlay some text, and then I might, if I'm feeling really energetic and I'd love for this video to be popular, I might go to the effort to actually shoot the product at a specific angle or something like that, knowing that that's going to make the lighting's going to be better for a thumbnail or something like that. So I'll just go to the extra effort there sometimes.
So, all right. Well, next month I'll give that a try. How about that?
Right. I can't guarantee it'll work, but but subscriber to view ratio, you're absolutely burying most channels. So I wouldn't be.
Yeah, thank you. No. I'm still surprised to see where everything's going to go. Do you ever use Social Blade or look at future projections and things like that? Or
I stopped doing that years ago. Maybe occasionally I'll have a peek, but no. I used to do it all the time when I first started. The seeing the growth and everything, that was a big thing. That was a big kick. But no, for the last 5-6 years, I haven't bothered. So No, I don't, because they give us all that data. You go into the dashboard and the analytics and everything, and the and the watch time, the audience retention. thing. Actually, well, I did a video explaining this as part of my new two-step editing process. I think it helps with the, you know how you can get the graph of the audience retention time, which you know, after 15 minutes, what percentage of people are still actually watching. I found some sort of evidence in my videos that if I tighten up my edit and make, you know, less ums and ahs, less sort of tangents and pauses and stuff like that, then that keeps people engaged in the video. Okay. So I started a second pass edit. So I do my main edit, and normally that's when I just go, right, done, upload it, you know, finished, and that's it. But now I'll do my first pass edit, and then I'll go through a second time and just, you know, trim out like little things. And I might save in a 30-minute video, I might save a minute or 2 minutes or something like that, just by really tightening up the edit a bit. And I find that helps with the audience retention. But it does mean an extra editing step. Okay. But I think it's worth it.
Really? Okay. Because I've always just seen the audience retention, that drops so much in the first minute or 30 seconds.
The first 30 seconds a minute. Yeah. That's why supposedly, if you know, you talk to all the YouTube experts, they tell you, and also YouTube themselves recommend this, in the first 30 seconds, you're supposed to give a really exciting bit that's at the end of your video, you know, so that's why a lot of videos will start with, you know, some exciting, you know, if something blows up in your video, for example, then you'd start with that, you know, you'd start with that. And then, you know, then they have to wait for that bit further on in your video. So that entices them. And then you start off, you know, you do an intro and then you start into the video. So it hooks them and supposedly keeps them in. But I've never really, you know, I think I've experimented a couple of times, but it didn't seem to make a difference. But apparently that's what the YouTube experts tell you.
Yeah, I've only seen that speech by Patrick Winston. I think he's a late professor at MIT, and he said, you know, tell people what they're going to learn at the start before like a lecture.
Yes, right.
And I guess that's something similar. Yeah.
Yep. So, that's similar. Here's what you can expect from the video or something like that.
Something like that. So that's what
but with our style of content, I think that's pretty hard. I mean, you start out with, in this video, you're going to learn how op amps work and how, you know, people already know that from the title. Exactly. You know, it's an op amp tutorial. Like they actually clicked on the video because they want to learn about op amps. So it's kind of, you know, pointless to tell them you're going to learn about op amps.
Yeah, no, fair enough, completely.
Yeah, I don't know.
When you started out, did you actually promote your YouTube videos somewhere else? Like, did you post it on forums at the time, or did you just let YouTube do its thing?
No. Back when I started in 2009, there was no. I mean, I was basically pretty much the first person to do like a regular engineering video channel. And so there was no existing audience. I basically built it. And my first video, I actually, I did it. I put it on my personal channel because I had a personal YouTube channel where I don't know, put a couple of things. And so I just put it on there. And then I posted to the one of the Usenet groups, one of the engineering Usenet groups. And I posted on there, and I got 50 subscribers in the first day. And I thought, I was like, I had no real plan, but, you know, I had like 50 people ask me, when's the next video? And I went, okay, I'll do a second one. And then I posted it on there. And then after that, I think after like the 10th video or something, then I started my own website. And, you know, after 20 videos or something, I had like the forum because people wanted to discuss, you know, so I set up a forum so that people could discuss my videos and form a little community around it and stuff like that. And as it turns out, that's been one of the greatest things that I've ever done, is start the forum because it's huge now. It's absolutely huge, and that brings a big advertising revenue income stream as well, which is great. And it's a great engineering resource for the community and everything else. So yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, awesome.
But there was no plan. You know, in fact, the channel name was just, you know, I originally titled it The Electronics Engineering Video Blog. And of course, that's because everyone called them video blogs back then. And, you know, so that was, I don't know, I couldn't think of anything creative. So I just called it The Electronics Engineering Video Blog. And then that was too long, obviously, right? So somebody suggested, well, shorten it to the EEVblog. Shortened that temporarily. And then I polled my audience. I talked and discussed on the forum, well, can anyone come up with a better name? And I couldn't think of one. Nobody could think of one. So it just sort of stuck. There it is.
Yeah, awesome. Rest is history. Yeah, awesome.
You know?
No, really cool.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So, but as it turns out, that turned out to be good, because then I can branch out. I can have EEV is my brand, and then it can be EEV Discover, for example. Like I've got a third channel, which is a discovery channel where I go out to places and stuff like that. It's been a bit dormant because of COVID and stuff. But yeah, like I can have EEV as the brand, and then I can tack sort of stuff onto the end. So I can, you know,
that's
sort of like branch out that way. So it turns out that was fairly fortuitous.
Okay. Pretty awesome. I actually popped up. You did some videos with Doug Ford, who worked at Rode a while ago.
Yep.
Is there anything in the works with him ever again? Because those are the videos I really, really enjoyed. His microphone design. Brilliant.
They're really great. Unfortunately, Doug moved up the coast, so it's not as easy to go. Like he was like actually local. He was fairly local, so I could just pop over to his place. And I should probably get in contact again, because he's got a gigantic lead testing sphere, like a gigantic sphere which you can test leads in and stuff. Like I've always wanted to do a video actually using that and stuff like that. So
that would be cool. Yeah, because those are one of my favorite of your videos. It's just on the whiteboard, you know, him and you discussing.
The whiteboard. Doug's a really
I think that was really cool. Do you ever collaborate with other YouTubers or other people other than you?
No, there's been talk about it over the years, but like I can't really think of a good way to collaborate. Really, like you've got to be really clever. A lot of the science YouTubers do it really well. They've done it really well. They've, you know, worked on projects together, and the way they seamlessly integrate their videos to sort of play off each other and stuff. And it's a lot of, I don't know, I don't have much, like I'd like to do it, but I can't think of any way that would be worthy of, you know, like my time, everyone else's time to sort of do it together. It's like, I don't know, there has to be some nice, smart angle to it, I think, if you are going to collaborate. So, you know, I don't know. Yeah. If you've got a good idea.
Oh God, no. I would love to, but that's the thing. It's always just thinking about
coming up with a clever idea.
Yes.
Like I remind, you know, as I said, those science YouTubers. I think Smarter Every Day. Who was it? Smarter Every Day and Eratasium, I think. They did like how water spins down a drain hole different ways, and they did it on different sides of the planet. Right. And like sort of that's a really great idea. Yes. And the way they integrated the videos, they actually timed them so that you could actually watch them side by side or something like that. You could watch them at the same time, like if you start both videos, and it's really clever. Right. And I was really cool. of that idea. You know, I thought that was really great.
No, that is very cool.
And they, and I can't think of anything.
No,
I don't know.
I mean, Robert Ferenek, I think you did a video interview with him quite recently. Not with YouTubers, but with scientists and engineers. He'll just go through a project for like 1 or 1.5 hours where someone teaches about FPGA.
Right.
I think it's quite nice and different
really good
setting. But
totally.
Yeah, I think that would be kind of cool.
I'm all for that. Yep.
I have
Other than that, I've got no other idea. No.
Exactly. Yes.
No, we're hopeless, aren't we?
No.
Like we're hopeless YouTubers, really. I mean, most of us engineering YouTubers are pretty hopeless at YouTube, to be quite frank.
Tell me about it. How do you actually, on that note, on being useless with things, on comments, how do you deal with those? Like, do you respond at any time or just heart it?
You're obviously talking about, okay, well, there's the good side of comments. I mean, that's one of the reasons I do. That's one of the biggest benefits is the community and the feedback.
Yes.
I mean, if you do your videos and you don't get any feedback, there's almost like you're shouting into the void, you know, like you've actually wasted your time kind of thing. I love reading the comments. It's, so every video, so after I release a video, I'll sit there for like an hour and I'll reply to comments, I'll heart them, I'll pin them. So if you have a really good technical response or something to one of my videos, even if you're explaining how I'm wrong in every aspect, you'll get pinned and hearted up to the top of the content. There are some YouTubers who will heart every single comment, and I think that's wrong.
Yeah,
like I think that's just
overdoing it. Is no point.
It devalues the I think it encourages higher quality contents. Like if you come up with high quality comments, then you'll get hearted or pinned or something like that.
I just feel like as with you, the first a day or something, I'll sit there reading comments, replying, hearting, but I just let it slip sometimes, and then you have this backlog of comments, which I'd love to reply to, but it's just, I mean, especially for your channel, that must be mental.
I pretty much, rarely do I go into there's a section in your, for those who aren't creators, there's a section in there you can go and you can get comments from all of your videos. But of course, I've got like 1,800 videos on my main channel. It's like, well, I'll go in there occasionally and it'll, I'll heart some comment from 8 years ago or something, right? But like, I just know I prefer to stick with the recent videos. Okay. So I'll go into my last recent 5 videos every day and I'll just sort of like, check the comments. I'll sort by the newest ones and see if there's any new ones there. Yes. But after that, after a week or so, I generally, stop reading the comments on most things.
Okay. Yep. And with emails, I guess, is that something similar? Do you have time to answer them, or?
Yeah, I do. I try. I've got a fan email. So if you just want to send me like, hey, Dave, I love your videos and stuff like that, I get, I've got a specific email address for that, and then I've got a filter in my email program that puts that into a fan section. So I'll generally only go read like the fan comments every week or something like that. And then I've got a hate mail as well. Lovely. I've also got a hate mail, and I do actually read my hate mail. You can send, I've got in my video description, or my about box, I've got a hate email address, and people send hate mail to me. And I read them and I find them humorous.
Cool, okay.
So I do actually, I'm an absolute masochist, right? So I love getting hate mail, and I just like, and sometimes I'll respond and I'll troll them, and or I'll try and explain myself. Because I do take hate mail, like it's been like in the comments, for example, if someone goes, quite often I've done this actually. Someone will do a comment like, oh, your videos have changed. I don't like, you've changed your style and everything else, and you're not making this content anymore. And I'll actually do a full video response to that person. And then I'll actually go through and I'll research all of my videos, and I'll go and I'll put them into different categories, and I'll go, no, look, you're actually wrong. Sorry. But here's why. I haven't changed my content. It's unfortunately you and you've changed, or you're just not as interested in my content anymore, and that's fine. Okay. But it's not me who's changed. Look, I'm still making all this content in the same volume as I did before, and the same types. And I'll sort of, so I'll try and win people over that way by explaining,
Well,
so I do like spending time on that. I probably shouldn't. Because you're not going to sway, you're almost never going to sway people. They have their opinions, and that's fine. And, but I try at least, because then other people can learn from it as well. So, yeah.
Okay. No, that's pretty cool.
I do prefer to do it in the comments rather than private email, because if I've actually got a template. Like I get a lot of technical requests. I'm sure you get this too. Oh, can you help me out with this project? Right. And I've seen your videos. I love them. And I've worked on almost exactly thing to you. And can you help me out here? Why isn't my circuit working? And unfortunately, I've got a template that I send, email template reply going, explaining, look, I'd love to help, but the volume of reply, I can't spend, like even the simplest request, I'm sure you're used to this, even the simplest email technical response is going to take 10, 15 minutes of your time. And then if you have to Google data sheets and you have to do other stuff, it could easily take half an hour of your time just to respond to a simple, everyone, like a lot of emails will start, this is just a simple request. And it's going to be 15 minutes, half an hour of my time. And if I do that, that only helps you. Right? Which is great. Like I love helping people and I do try. But at some point, it's better. So my email response says, look, it's better if you go to the EEVblog forum and ask on there, and you'll get a much varied response. So I don't know everything, right? So you'll get almost certainly you'll find someone who knows the answer to your question. It may have already been answered. And then you'll get a much more varied technical response. You'll get discussions and everything else. And then it's all searchable, so that if somebody out there has the same question, it'll show up in the search, hopefully, show up in a Google search result somewhere. So I encourage people to go on the forum, where I'll also like instead of replying personally, I'll go to the forum and then reply on the forum. And then that helps everyone. It helps a lot more people than just one person.
That's actually a really good idea. Yeah, I've had, as you say, the same kind of dilemma. Like I would love to, but it's just time-wise. And as you say, it only helps one person. It's near impossible to do.
Yeah, exactly. Unfortunately, like I'd love to, like especially like if I'll definitely reply if some young kid is asking me for advice or something like that. They're the ones I'll really help out personally, But unfortunately, if you just email me with a technical, my circuit doesn't work, sorry, I don't have the time. Yeah, it's tough. Like I hate doing it, but at some point you have to. Otherwise, you'll have no time to make videos.
No, exactly. So, on a related note, have you ever done like consulting in your own time, kind of as your own entity?
I used to do my own consulting business, and for the first probably 9 months of being a full-time YouTuber, I was actually doing a consulting gig on the side. So but then once the income from the YouTube became equivalent to like a full-time engineering job, I stopped doing the consulting thing. So I get many requests, like probably every week or something. I get somebody email me and say, hey, I've got a startup. We need, need someone to work on these circuits. I've seen your videos and stuff, and I have to turn them all down. I just don't have the time. So do you think you spend more than 40 hours a week, more than a normal job, so to speak, come
on YouTube?
You know the answer to that.
No. There's always hope.
Of course. It's a 24/7 job.
Yes.
People don't realize, like, you're always thinking about it. You become obsessed with it. You're always thinking about it some way, and probably even thinking about it in your sleep. You're thinking, what
one does
content am I going to make, or that bastard who left the comment yesterday. He's so wrong, and I'm going to go in tomorrow and I'm going to explain why he's wrong.
Just formulating in your sleep, you wake up with a eureka moment. I definitely know the feeling.
Oh, it's definitely. So how much time would you spend on your channel?
I mean, I spend all day doing electronics.
You can't even estimate it, can you?
Right. And people don't want to believe that. They think, like, what are you talking about? You post a video once every 1 or 2 weeks, but...
Yeah, exactly. I know, it's constant.
It's also, and the main thing is just the preparation. Also, the marketing I hadn't even thought about, if you can call it marketing, just trying to promote the channel, reply to comments, and these kind of things take up so much more time than the actual content itself. Exactly. And then I've got a packing and shipping business. Like, I sell my products, and that takes a lot of time to... packing and shipping and organising all that sort of stuff, and then the business side of things, and just like handling the advertisers and stuff like that. It all takes time, and it's and it's that boring business side of things. It's just you doing it, basically, right? Did you?
Well, I did actually experiment with having a full-time employee once, also called David. He came and worked for me for 2.5 years, I think, as a full-time employee. And that was kind of a test. Like, I actually surveyed my audience, because I do like a yearly Google survey.
Yes.
And I surveyed my audience one year, and he had actually been working part-time for me, as like he was doing like packing and shipping, and he was doing some sort of technical, he was involved in some aspects of the technical videos and stuff like that. He was doing some of his own content, and everyone seemed to really like him, right? So I thought, look, maybe I should maybe I should spend some money on this and hire a full-time employee. So I made the commitment, look, I'll hire a full-time employee. I'll see how it goes. And that was a trial for 2.5 years. And it turns out it's probably it wasn't that great. Like, it didn't work out as I intended, which is fine, but it was an experiment just to see if it would kind of work. The plan was that he would be making content as well, which everyone seemed to like, and the majority of people in the survey said, yep, we would love to see another person on the EEVblog making content. And they actually liked him and everything, and he started making the videos, and it got a decent response, but it turns out that he wasn't like a video creator. It wasn't his passion. So like, a really clever technical guy, but he just wasn't a YouTuber as such. So it was just kind of like a chore for him. And I could very quickly tell that it wasn't he really wasn't passionate about making the content. He just wanted to work on actual design and stuff like that. He didn't, he wasn't, and which is fair enough. Not everyone is suited to, making content and handling feedback and stuff like that. So not everyone. It's a hard job being a YouTuber, actually putting your content out there, being judged.
Yes.
Every video, you're being judged on everything you say, everything you do, every decision in your circuit and everything. So, there's a lot of people who can't handle that.
Okay.
So that didn't really work out. I don't think I'd have another, you see the channels like Linus Tech Tips and other channels that have, 30 employees or 50 employees or something, and everyone's producing content and they hang out like a big community and they, it looks really fantastic. But I think us engineers, we're more, isolated nerds. Yeah, we just like being alone. Like, just leave me alone. Just leave me alone.
Know the feeling, yes, for some reason, yes.
Yes.
Was that?
I think we're all the same.
Yeah. Was that in any relationship? Because once you had that video on that, you were looking for someone to work with you, like an internship, and then you got, I think, some backlash as well about all the requirements, you set out. Was that in relation to that, or was that something else?
No, that was kind of its own thing. Yeah, that was originally for the part-time position, I think. Okay. Yeah, that was for the part-time position, I think. And I put this video out. For those who don't know, I put this video out saying, look, I'm looking for a part-time person and you should have these basic requirements, right? And it was basically hobby level skills, like, you should be able to program a microcontroller, or you should be able to, you should be able to solder, obviously, you should be able to do these skills. And a lot of people took me to task and said, hey, you're expecting too much. This is like a professional level engineer skills. And it's like, no, like I could do all this stuff when I was 13, right? This is hobby level stuff, I thought anyway.
Yeah.
There was some backlash about that, but that didn't really have anything to do with the full-time thing.
No, but I mean, on that point, that having that experience and having YouTube as a portfolio has, even with job applications and PhD applications, really helped me out. So as you said, videos,
I can imagine.
Having a channel where you're showing what you can or cannot do is such an advantage, and
highly recommend it. Nobody has regretted it. Making YouTube channels of their technical stuff. Like, even if you're not very good at it, it shows that you're passionate enough to actually make a video on that thing that you're working on. And it's great. And it really comes across in job interviews. It's really something you can have on your resume that really makes you stand out.
Yeah.
So,
one thing I'm slightly worried about is because, going it solo, doing your own thing and teaching yourself your own thing, when you eventually might have to go back to normal company, in my case.
Oh, no.
How do you say, you have done 3 years of going it solo? I wonder if that's being seen as like a bad thing,
Yeah, I don't know. That's a tough call. I think I'm probably unemployable in the general, in the general market. I would have to have, like, if I had to go back to a day job, if I went back to something, I would do my own business, right? I'd be my own consulting. I'd be making products, something like that.
Yeah.
Right. But if I had to go back and actually work for the man again, I've got a bit of a reputation for, having an opinion, let's say, and having employees with opinions is generally not, like it helps if you've got a technical opinion and you keep, but I've got opinions on everything. Right. So, and there's a lot of people who don't like that. So I might be very unemployable in the industry if a lot of people saw my content. But then again, there were other people, as I said, I get weekly emails from people wanting me to work on stuff with them. Yeah. So,
So you'll never be out of a job, so to speak, anyway. So.
No. Yeah. You've got to find someone who likes your style, and I'm not for everyone. So, I'm pretty controversial. So,
yeah.